when I'm in the studio in real time, I never can get my mics on the right way.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's okay.
You're fine. You're okay.
It's just awkward. It's just awkward. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a sound check. Can everybody hear us? Give us some thumbs up if you can hear us good. If the sound quality is good, give us a thumbs up. My Facebook Live folks, give me some thumbs up. Let me know you guys are hearing us well. IG over here, can you hear us well, guys? Give us a wave or some thumbs up. Let us know you hear us well. Cool. Thank you.
And Facebook over here. Give me thumbs. Give it. I don't see anybody on. You guys, we've been on for. There's one person. Give me a thumbs up. Smiley faces, hearts. Good morning. Good Monday morning. If you can hear me well, I've got my two mics on, so we should be good. And we're not that behind. It's only 10:06. So we should be good to roll. I think right now we've got two Facebooks going.
Hey Donna, how you doing, Donna Matthews?
Hey Donna.
Jackie Gordon.
Hey Jackie.
Carolyn. Hey guys, we're gonna need you guys to please hold Facebook watch parties, tag your friends and family, share, thumbs up. These are all things that are going to help us with the algorithm. So we're trying to really grow the channel and to grow, our followers. So all the help you can give us, we really appreciate it. And again, share, tag your friends, hold a watch party. That'd be awesome.
All right, so you guys, I don't know if you heard Morgan over there. His voice is a little raspy because he's dark. His voice is deeper than mine, but he's saying if you all can have watch parties or share, tag your friends, text them, DM them, let them know we're on. Share that we come on Monday morning at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, I say Monday, every weekday, 10 a.m. Hey Donna, Donna's on. She came on the Facebook page. So yeah, every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. We're having Courageous Conversations Connect Space, right? Where we actually have quarantine talks. We're going to give you some updates. I'm sure you all have, know what's going on in the world. We all should stay informed, but there's other things that we can do to stay healthy as well. And so this is what this platform is about, staying informed and staying healthy. So good morning, Donna. It's good to see you. Uh, so you guys know that when uh, 45, the president, had his uh, press conference yesterday, they ordered another, which I think it's going to be all formal on Tuesday, but another 30 days that we are to stay in place. Hey, China, good to see you. Lovely. So there'll be another 30 days of this. There'll probably be more time because I think we have to still govern ourselves as well to be safe. I was reading quite a few articles last night. I was also looking at some YouTube videos as well because I'm more visual about what this coronavirus does to our bodies and why so many people are being compromised, not just the elderly or seniors, but also younger people as well. It really depends on your immune system. And so that's why even when I do my goal setting Mondays, this particular week, the goal setting was about building my immune system. So making sure that I'm taking my vitamins and making sure that I'm exercising, making sure that I'm hydrating, just to make sure that we're doing well with our bodies. Um, a Sora of mine, just a quick story, a Sora of mine, she may not be on here, but she knows who she is. One day, she has an autoimmune disorder. Hey, Larissa, good to see you, dear. She has an autoimmune disorder, and I asked her, she works out and she runs vigorously, and I asked her, I said, do you really like working out? And she said, not really. I said, well, why do you, tell me a little bit about, because I know she's been doing it for so long and she's vigorously disciplined at it. So I said, tell me a little bit about why you're so disciplined about like working out and building up your body. And she said something very, I would never forget it. She said, I don't work out for today. She said, I'll work out or work out just because I like it. She said, I'll work out to build my body for when the curveballs come, when the unforeseen things come, when the unexpected things come. And I want my body to be ready. Hey, Tracy. Hey, there's my Sora on. Yeah, so that's what she said. She said, I work out to be ready when the curveballs come, when the storms come, when I get blindsided. I need my body to be built up. And interestingly enough, I think that to a certain degree, and hey, over there is IG, right?
IG over there, and this is mine.
Your
Sorry, my
Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay. All right. So, guys, we're working several different cameras. Tracy said, good morning. Good morning, dear. Hey, Will. Good morning. Will is on. I'm talking about a friend of mine who has an autoimmune disorder, and she talks about working out and why she works out. And think about this from the perspective of what's happening in our world globally now. Not only has this virus impacted those elderly people who tend to not have the most vital, if you will, immune systems, but it also is impacting younger people in our demographic in the United States. And why is that? They're saying really, one, we're considered to be the fattest nation, the fattest country in the world. We also have some unhealthy physical conditions like hypertension and diabetes and being overweight and all those things, even some of the respiratory conditions like COPD and asthma are impacting those younger persons where the virus is attacking their body and they can't fight it off. I learned something last night. I learned that those people who say the symptoms are a fever, a cough, hey Cheryl, Cheryl's on, a fever, a cough, and trouble breathing. Those are like the main symptoms. And then some other people are saying that people have a loss of taste or smell. They're also saying that you could potentially have like diarrhea. You could have some other things as well as symptoms because it's a little bit different. But the fever, the cough, and the shortness of breath. The fever is that your body, and for those of you that might sign on that are actually medical doctors, I'm not a medical doctor, but they say that the fever is because the body is actually trying to create a hostile environment to rid the virus of the body. So that's why the fever spikes. But we know that your fever can't spike too high, or you'll end up having a stroke. Um, Now, then the breathing issue is because the virus is going into the lung area or going into the throat, the esophagus, and then down to the lung area, and it's attacking the cells. And then when the cells are attacked, then the body's immune system does the right thing to come out and fight the virus, but it functions on overload and it begins to fill the lungs with fluid, which is the thing that causes people not to be able to breathe. And ultimately, they sometimes succumb to that because if your body can't have breath,
You know
up,
that.
the body can't have breath, then the body doesn't survive, if you will. And then, of course, the cough is the virus going into the cough is the virus going into the cough area. So I just wanted to share that information. We are going to start off as we always do now that we've got more people on. And thank you for joining, everyone. China's on, Donna Matthews. Who went to Girls High with me. Larissa's on. Hey, Larissa, my soror. Tracy is on. Will and Cheryl. I can see only the people on my Facebook on my computer, but it's IG over there. Hey, IG family. Let's get in a position. The reason why I wanted to have these courageous conversation connects uh, spaces is because I wanted people to have a space to really process what's going on. It's real scary, guys. This is no joke. They are giving us another 30 days to stay at home and to quarantine ourselves to protect ourselves. So you staying home may save your life. It may save somebody else's life. I'm saying stay home, stay safe, stay well, stay alive, right, and keep other people alive. We're going to be talking a little bit later about seniors, and I'm going to ask you some questions about seniors. But before we get into that, I want us to breathe. Why do I want us to breathe? Because I think all of us take breathing, I know I have in the past, for granted. We take breathing for granted. We talk really fast, we have shallow breathing, and these people over, I think that they said the facts last night that I heard in terms of numbers is right now there's over 2,400 people that have died in the U.S. 2,400 people that have died in the U.S. so far, and that is a staggering number. It's down, it's daunting right now what's going on. So we need to breathe. So I want everybody to get in their posture, get comfortable. I don't know about if you know this about breathing, but when you breathe in, you're breathing oxygen in. And then when you're letting it out, you're letting out carbon dioxide, right? Which is not healthy for you. The oxygen is healthy for you. The oxygen comes in and it goes to all different parts of your body, your brain and your organs, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, all of the necessary organs. That's what the breathing does. And we need to be really mindful and intentional of our breathing a lot more. So let's get in our posture. We're going to breathe in 3 times. I'm going to do it with you, or we're going to do 5 times actually. I'm going to do it with you. And at the sound of my voice, I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to breathe in through our nose to let oxygen go in through our nose and into our brains and our reach our organs and our major organs and our vital uh, system, respiratory system, as well as going through like our veins and sort of carrying that oxygen to the places that it's supposed to carry it to. And then we're going to exhale through our mouth to get the carbon dioxide out, the CH2. All right? So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Hold it. And out through the mouth. That felt good. That felt really good. We're breathing in not just for ourselves, we're breathing in for all those persons that are impacted and infected and affected by this coronavirus. Breathe in, hold it, and out. You feel your belly expanding when you're letting that carbon dioxide out of your body. It's an exchange. That's what the lungs are doing if your lungs are healthy. This is letting us know that we're okay when we're able to breathe in oxygen that gets to our brains and to our organs and to our lungs, and then that exchange happens and we breathe out that negative, that carbon dioxide. Breathe in, nice long breath, hold it, and out through the mouth. Let that oxygen, let that carbon dioxide out, let it out. 4th time, 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Nice long breath. Get that oxygen into the brain and the heart and the lungs, the organs, and out. And we're going to take one additional breath. We're going to breathe in for the firefighters and the police officers and the first responders and the nurses and the doctors, the medical professionals and the mental health professionals and the truckers and the pharmacists and the grocery store people and the politicians that are building this legislation for us. We're going to breathe in for all of those persons that are working for us. And I think today that the big ship is coming from Virginia. It's supposed to be going into New York to take on all of the people who are actually still sick and needing care, and then providing other medical professionals for those that are sick. So we're going to take a deep breath in for paying homage to all of those persons that are helping us to stay home and stay. Breathe in, big breath, hold it, and breathe out. Feel your stomach exhaling. That felt good, guys. That felt really, really, really good. Tell me how that felt for you guys. I'm going to Give a shout out to those that are still here. Nakia is on. Nakia Black. Hey, Nakia. Rich Austin is on. Hey, Rich. Erica is on. Hey, Erica. How are you doing? I miss you, girl. I miss you. I hope that your girls in the dance studio, maybe y'all are doing some virtual dancing. I don't know what you guys are doing in the dance studio, but stay well. How'd that breathing feel to you guys? I hope that it felt good to you. It felt good to me. And we are shifting gears a little bit because I said we do a breathing exercise and then we do an excerpt from a book. We do either a prayer, a meditation. Last week, all week, we did the Serenity Prayer. In case you all don't know it, you can do it on your own. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Why is that so important? Well, because there's a whole lot of things that we cannot change right about now. A whole lot of things that we can't change. And so we need to have the serenity, the peace of mind, the calm, to recognize that, and then the courage to change what we can. We can sometimes change ourselves. We can wash our hands, you all. We can put our mask on when we're going out so that we don't infect anyone else. Before they were saying only do it if you're healthy, right? I mean, if you're infected or if you have this virus. But now what they're saying is that if you could be a carrier and be asymptomatic and be caught, giving it to someone else. So wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your 6 foot distance from one another, your social distancing, remembering that social distancing does not mean social isolation. So, week 29 of Courageous Conversations Connect. Real quick, I'm only going to read one excerpt from it because this is week 29. It's managing life's transitions. Well, I would say we're in a transition right about now. So we need to figure out how to manage it. Well, what does that look like, IG family? What does that look like over there in Morgan's Facebook family, mine as well, because his family is my family. And what does that look like, guys? It looks like us trying to figure out how to manage transitions. Daryl's on. Hey, Daryl. Colette's on. Hey, Colette. I want to read this to you. This is something that I wrote. It's on page 119 of Courageous Conversations Connect. It says, have you ever taken into consideration that people don't plan to fail? They fail to plan. Sometimes we fail to plan because we are too comfortable in our own present state, and we recognize that if we begin to plan, things will change in ways that we may not be prepared to adapt to. Think about that. For all of those who really felt like this was just not, this was kind of a hoax, or this wasn't really happening, we really didn't get on board. But it's not too late. You all can get on board now. We can begin to make the necessary changes to our mindset, reset our mindset. We can start accepting that this is our new norm, this is our new reality, so that we can make the adjustments so that we can begin to adapt to our new norm. And then this last part is none of us is able to grow without change and transition. It is the way that we as humans continue to evolve. Change can also be painful to accept when the thing that is changing is not what we want. That said, once we have managed to grow through it, we usually find out how strong we really are and how much better and wiser we are for having the transition. Isn't that true? That sometimes we just don't, the change is so painful that we really just don't want to accept that this is something that we don't want. And I've heard many people say, I just want to go back to what it used to be. And we're not talking about going back to like 20 years ago. We're talking about going back to 2 weeks ago. This is the third week in which we have experienced this, what I'm calling the coronavirus pandemic paradigm shift. It's a paradigm shift. Our lives have literally turned upside down. And we just want our lives back to normal. I know I want to go on my date night like Morgan has always, him and I go on our date nights to various restaurants. We're foodies. I want to go back to being able to walk around and hang out with people. I want to go back to worshiping at my church at Enon, when us all hugging on each other. I want to go back. I mean, we did do church on Sunday. Shout out to Pastor Waller, who is really leading us in a major way in terms of still getting our edification and still feeling as if we are at a precipice right now where we are focusing on a higher calling. He reminded us on Sunday that we need to remember about some of the things that have already made us stronger and give our testimonies to people. So, yeah. Oh, share tag, guys, share. And we're trying to get our algorithms up. If you can do watch parties, that would be very, very appreciated. Share, give me some smiley faces, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. Let me know you're there. Let me know that this what you're struggling with as well. Let our community know. This is about our crew, connecting relationships for epic wins. And so we're in this together. Yes, we're stronger together, absolutely. However, just because we're stronger together does not mean that we're not having some pain. It doesn't mean that we're not having some difficulty or some challenges in this third week of quarantine. Debbie's on. Hey, Debbie, good to see you as well. Listen, so this particular, now that we've done our breathing, now that we've done sort of our sort of not meditation, but our entry for the day, our reading entry, and talking about change and transition, I want to shift gears again and talk about seniors. Anybody having some difficulty with your seniors? All week, we're going to be talking about a different type of relationship during the quarantine talks. So I thought that today specifically, we would talk about seniors. Why? Because this virus in particular is attacking our seniors. It's attacking the elderly. It's attacking those folks who have been around for a really, really, really long time. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to die, right? I get it. I actually saw a wonderful story where one who was 101, she actually had one of the first ones to have the virus, and she just got out of the hospital the other day, and she did survive it. But you got to fight. This disease is coming at us hard, and we have to fight. But there's a fight when you actually have gotten it. But there's also a fight, quite frankly, to prevent yourself from getting it. There's some things that we can do. And dealing with our seniors is quite challenging. It's a little bit different than dealing with our children. You all tell me. I've got a couple of questions for you all, and I got some tips that might be helpful to you. Anybody having problems out there dealing with their seniors? Larissa says, your book is written for such a time as this. You and your husband are role models for America. Thank you, Larissa. I appreciate that. I do believe that. And I received that. Although this was not happening when I wrote Courageous Conversations Connect, I do believe that it is a ministry to help many of us to grow through transitional times, to get through on the other side, to transform ourselves and our lives, and to draw on what we did to grow through this together. But, excuse me, I've got a couple of questions for you guys. One question, and I had asked people to send me questions that they wanted answers to, they wanted us to talk about during these quarantine talks. So, one question specifically is, how do I get my 85-year-old father to take this seriously? Right? Somebody asked me that a couple of days ago, and I said, that's really interesting because I got an 84-year-old father who in the very beginning was a little bit skeptical as well, right? Nicole's not on yet, but she's my niece and she knows her pop up sometimes. You know, the challenge with the older people is they've been around, they have wisdom, they really do, but they're also strong. They've got that grit sometimes that we don't have, and that can be sometimes a blessing and a curse because the grit says, listen, it's not my first rodeo. Now, truth is, none of us have been down this road. Unless you're 102, you weren't around during the Spanish flu in 1918. So none of us have been through a pandemic before. But for the older people, they tend to be really gritty. And sometimes what they'll say, this is not a big deal. I'm going out. I'm doing what I want to do. You all are being too paranoid. And we have to appeal to them in a different way. Because the last thing that you want to do with the seniors, you don't want to make them feel like you're taking their independence away, right? You want them to still hold on to that because, quite frankly, for a lot of seniors, that's the thing that gets them through. That's the thing that allows them to feel like they still have value. They still are important. important. So we never want to take their independence away, telling them you must do this, you must stay in the house. You want them to weigh in on it. So there's some things that we can do to help engage in, of course, what am I saying? The courageous conversation with our seniors to get them on board, because we do know that this disease is, this virus is impacting them. It is attacking them much more aggressively. So they may not have the stamina, even though mentally they're strong, they may not have the physical stamina to fight this off if they should get it. So best case scenario, they don't get it. I love you too, Rich. Rich said he has a conference call at 10:30. Thank you for signing on. Good morning. Stay safe. Stay safe. So y'all tell me, uh, that those of you who are on either IG or Facebook, tell me, are you struggling with anyone that is a senior to get them on board? Or tell me, if you've gotten them on board, what did you do? How did you do it? Because it's been difficult, I have to say. This is going into the third week. My father typically, he's 85, he's almost 85. He typically stays home anyway, but he likes to go out. He has three cars. Why does an 85-year-old have three vehicles? I don't know. I don't know, because he can't drive them all at the same time, but does go out to the store and to get his little items or what have you. And we had to have a conversation and share with him that this is very serious and he really can't go out. And when we come into the house, we have to either have our mask on, definitely keep 6 foot distance, have our gloves, make sure that the surfaces are all clean. And he didn't understand that in the very beginning, because we are very affectionate people in our family. So we do hugs and kisses. And he was like, come on over here and give me a kiss. I'm like, Dad, we can't. We can't. And it had to be a longer conversation about the new norm that we were going to establish. So what I started doing is doing this and saying, I'm blowing you a kiss. First, we're doing the elbow bump, but even the elbow bump is not really working nowadays, because that was like, it seems like a lifetime ago. Think about it, 2 weeks ago when they were telling us to do the elbow bump. But if you do an elbow bump, then you're not 6 feet apart. So they've since relaxed that and said just say 6 feet apart. So I start doing this to suggest that I'm kissing him when I do see him, and that feels good. The other thing I did with him is I make sure that he was on FaceTime, so I could actually send him. We both have Androids. I told him to click the camera, not the phone, so that I could see him and he could see me, and that seemed to work. Larissa says, I'm a 79-year-old senior having a problem staying in the house. I'm used to being able to get in the car and go out every day. I live a well-balanced life, and I understand precautions. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Larissa, for sharing that, because I think Larissa says she's 79, she's in that demographic, she has to stay safe, and younger people are also, they were saying that we walk around asymptomatic, even people that are younger than me, asymptomatic, but then we're finding out that younger people are getting symptoms, especially if they have pre-existing conditions or underlying conditions that impact their immune system. So I think right in through here, it's getting a little tight, right? It's getting a little difficult. I actually heard a pastor say something yesterday, and I think I believe it's absolutely true. There's a little itch right in through here that whatever your ism was, whatever your idiosyncrasy is, whatever your thing is probably getting to you right about now. We have usually, as human beings, we have about 2 weeks of tolerance for something like this. And then after that, we're like, I'm out of here. But we can't be out of here, because never before have we been faced with a situation where if we actually leave our homes unprotected with what we need to keep ourselves safe and people that we know and love safe, it literally could mean our lives or their lives. This thing has not hit its peak yet in the United States. It will, and it will probably sooner than later. And the question will be for all of us, did we do our due diligence to keep ourselves and our seniors and our kids, our young people, all of us as safe as we possibly could? Did we? Because the truth is, none of us wants that regret. And I don't want that guilt on my shoulders that I did not do everything that I possibly could to keep myself and to keep those that I know safe. Okay. So there's another question here I want to ask you all to tell me if this resonates with you. A lot of people, I see it. There's a young gentleman. I can't remember his name, but I see him on Facebook, and he would go and visit his wife in the nursing home every single day. And so I I Facebooked him yesterday, and I said, "Are you able to see your wife?" And he said no, but he posted a picture where he was able to FaceTime her. She was outside on a beautiful day, and someone in the nursing home allowed him to FaceTime her, so he got to see her. She got to see him. The question is, how are you faring with your seniors who might be in nursing homes? And what is your plan? What is your plan, guys? If one of your seniors gets sick and they do have to go to the hospital and you can't see them, what will you do? Some people had given me some tips. I had read some things like making sure that they do take their devices and their chargers. Make sure they take their chargers. I think it was Amy Gobichak's whose husband was in he has the coronavirus. He was in the hospital and she was like, I'm thankful that he took his charger so that he could charge his phone so I could at least talk to him on the phone or maybe even FaceTime him. So make sure that your loved one has what they need because you may not be able to go to the hospital and advocate for them, right? They're going to have to advocate for themselves if they can. Also, if they're like my father, he has a CPAP machine. He's always struggled with sleep apnea, and now he has COPD. So he has a CPAP machine. Excuse me. More. Can you get some water, please? Um, and so I have postnasal drip. It's also allergy season. Um, So the CPAP machine, make sure if they have medication, if they have devices that they need, make sure if you take them to the hospital that you take their devices and their medication with you, right? You should have printed out a list of all their medications as well. That is extremely essential because for these people, if they have all these other underlying conditions, if you're not in the hospital with them, how do the medical professionals know what medications these seniors are on, especially if they're in respiratory distress and they can't tell them? So print out a list of all the medication, have it on their purse, have it in their wallet, in their purse. You keep a copy of it, and then also make sure that if they're on any devices, that you take those with them. Do not worry at this point if it should get lost. Now, label it. That's another, I think, little tip. Label their device. So I'm going to label my father's CPAP machine so that they know it's Hildred Allen's CPAP machine so they don't get it confused with anybody else's. And then also make sure that you keep certain things in the car that you would need if you do have to go in the hospital. Keep a mask. Keep your Lysol. Hmm? Okay. Keep your Lysol. Keep your mask, all those things in the car so that you have them with you. That makes sense, guys? Let me know if these are things you've thought about. Let me know if there are other things that I did not share that would be helpful to you. And then the other question that somebody asked me was, how do I keep people from visiting my loved one if I know that they are quarantined? Because sometimes they're following the directive and then other people outside are not following the directive, like young people. They're, oh, I'm just going to go over and visit Pop or Mama. No, no. You can't just go over and visit Pop and Mama right now. Call them. They would love a call from you. Send them a letter. Write them a letter. If you're a child, they would love a handwritten letter or a card from you. There are other ways to connect. And now, more than ever before, we're having to find ways to connect with our loved ones in ways that we didn't before. Does that make sense? So talk with them. Have the courageous conversation with all of your loved ones, every single one of them, about what are the new norms? What are the new rules of engagement? How are we going to keep ourselves safe? Don't worry so much about if they think you're a little bit, outside the box, right? Being outside the box taking these precautions actually could save their lives and save your lives. And the other thing is, do you have a challenge with your loved one, any loved one, quite frankly, adhering to the new stay-at-home policy? If people have been quite compliant, great, that's awesome. However, if they haven't, then they certainly are not going to want to now, right? So we're going into another literally 30 days. This is why I said last week, and if you all weren't on last week, and please share this. Ooh, what did I do? Oh my God. Oh, there we go. Please share this, share. Text, DM, let people know that we're on every day, Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. We're having our quarantine talks in this Courageous Conversations Connect space. We do our breathe first, then we do our meditation, our mantra, and then we get into the conversation with questions and Q&A and just a conversation. All week, we're talking about how to have a courageous conversation with a different type of demographic. This particular day, we're focusing on seniors. Tomorrow we'll focus on another demographic. It may be children, it may be I think tomorrow we're talking about your partner. So that's going to be really interesting. What if you have a different vision of how this thing is supposed to go down than your partner? They're going out, and putting themselves in harm's way and then bringing it back and possibly infecting you or the kids or what have you. So we'll talk about the things that you can do to have the conversation with them. So here's a few things I want you guys to remember. Let me know if you have questions about this, or if you have any comments, thoughts that have been working for you when it comes to your seniors. I just reached out, create a list for yourself, right? A list for yourself for the seniors to have the safety care plan. Ask them if they have these things, and if they don't, the Lysol wipes, the gloves, the mask, if they should need it, other like food, if they are running out of food, or if they need a medication run. Be willing to go do some errands, because what's happening with seniors is they're going to get antsy. If they're still driving, they're going to want to go out. Ressa talked about liking to go out. They're going to want to go out and get their own things, because most seniors want to have their own independence. So the thing that you can do is offer to do and bring it to their door. Don't necessarily go in, but bring it to their door and then drop it off, and then call them, and then have a conversation with them after that. Let me know if that's been working for you, for your seniors, or if you're doing something else. So, two specific things that I want. Hey, Cindy on. Hey, Cindy. Is that Cindy Elliott from? Oh, no, that's a different Cindy. Okay, that's Cindy, but it's good to see you. I'm thinking that it was Cindy from Africa. The two things: staying safe and staying connected. So here's what I want you guys to remember and write this down if you have a pen or paper or something like that. Okay. 4 things that you need to do to keep your seniors safe. It's called staying safe. Provide them with actual information, because sometimes they may not believe you. Sometimes in their mind, they're like, oh, you're just talking. I don't necessarily want to believe you. This is not really happening. Identify sources. Send them some articles that they like to read. If they're on social media, you can send it that way. If not, if they're on the net, actually literally read a few short articles just to kind of get him on board. It helped, because he really appreciates the information that he was getting from another source to come to validate what I was saying. Then let's provide, right? Remember, provide. I'm going to say the 3 P's: provide, providing, preparation, participation, and positive attitude. So in terms of preparation is key, because you need to plan for what? 4. 4? No, it's 4. It's 4. I'm sorry. 4 P's. It's 4 P's. Providing, preparation, participation, and positive attitude. Provide factual information. That's key. That preparation is key. Plan for the long game, not the short game, right? So prepare for what y'all gonna do. Talk to the rest of your family. Remember, I told you last week it was the SSR. I don't know if those of you who are on this week were on last week. The SSR is your safety care plan, your self-care plan, and then your relational care plan. And within your relational care plan, we asked you to talk about what you're going to do with your family members and with your friends. This past weekend, I saw a lot of people on social media on Friday night. We had a night with the crew. We had also a night with, it was our Deltaversary on Saturday night, and so we all connected, Epiphany 33, members of Epiphany 33. You can do this with your seniors as well, but you got to prepare. Also get on social media, maybe a Zoom platform with your sisters or your brothers or your siblings to talk about how you come up with a long-term game plan for your extended family, anyone in your family that is more vulnerable. You can run out to the store and put everything on. They cannot, right? They can't, because they're going to put themselves in harm's way. And what I said to people was, if the house was burning down, you wouldn't just sit back in the house burned down. You would do something about it. You call someone. You'd act as if it's urgent. So this act that way when it comes to your seniors. Then participation. Because participation is key, what I'm asking people to do is engage your seniors in decision making. Don't just tell them this is what you're going to do. Say, listen, this is what's happening. I've armed you with the information. What are the things that you think that you could do to help out? And also recognize that we need your help as much as we need to help you, because we want you to be here. Your information, your wisdom, your years are valuable to us. So we want you here as long as possible. What are the things that you can do to stay here? And we're going to incorporate that in the plan. So help them to make sure that they are able to help you to make the decisions. And then finally, with the 4 P's, with regards to staying safe, positive attitude is key. Helping to readjust expectations. Have discussions about discipline, that we're all going to have to be disciplined, right? We're all going to have some resolve about this, because this is for the long haul. So this won't change overnight, but we can tweak our plan. We can adjust our plan so that we get to a better place of adapting to it, and appreciation, and acceptance, frankly. And then have courage. Well, here's where the seniors really got to speak. They are very, very courageous. They've been through a lot. They've had many, many years, more ups and downs than we have. And so they can really help us and engage them in conversation. Papa, mom, what did you do years ago when, things were not as you would have liked them to be, when you didn't have as much money, or when you were sick, or someone in your family was sick? What did you all do? Maybe we can incorporate that. A positive attitude is key. So those are the 4 things that I want you all to engage with and think about when it comes to staying safe with your seniors. And then staying connected. This is very, very key. So they can overlap, but staying connected, I think, is extremely important, because they show that seniors, and frankly, for all of us, we fail to thrive if we don't have connection, right? We are human beings, and we need connection. And never before have we been challenged with this situation where social distancing, or being physically distant, is really causing us to reevaluate and rethink how we engage with each other. But you have to keep in mind, especially for your seniors, social distancing should not mean social isolation. None of your seniors, the people that you love, the people that you care about. Hey, Mark just joined us. They should not be isolated. Not on your watch. This is on all of our watches, to take care of our seniors, but we just have to take care of them in a different way. By the way, if you have to order food, you don't have to take it anymore. You can order, I think it's Costa and the delivery. A lot of the food markets are, there are different devices that you can go on to deliver the food to them if you want to do that. But 4 things that I want you to remember about staying connected. Social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. Think outside the box. That means connections matter. There are all kinds of alternative ways for you to connect. Write a letter, get on Zoom, do FaceTime, just call them. I had a senior that I called this week. I called 7 seniors this weekend, and one particular senior, it was her 87th birthday, and because her children couldn't see her, they put balloons off to her. And you may have seen that on Facebook. She was standing in front of her house in front of these beautiful balloons, and she just looked gorgeous. And so I called her and I said, do you have FaceTime? She said, oh, no, I want to hear my children's voices, because I know there's something going on with their voices, and I need to go in prayer, and I need to help them out, or whatever way that I can. But I need to be in tune with their voices. So whatever your senior needs, if you can, within reason, based on keeping them safe, by all means, every day, make sure that that senior person is not growing through this by themselves in isolation. And go back to the basics. Keep it simple, right? If you're living with your senior person, then it's real simple. Just have a conversation. Sit down and watch the news together. By the way, do not watch the news or CNN, whatever channel you have to get your information from. Don't watch it all day. Watch something else. Watch a movie. Do some meditation. Listen to some music. Do the 4 M's that we talked about last week: mindfulness, meditation, movement. Get some movement in, or meaningful engagement. But do not sit there and watch TV all day. Get your information in the morning, the afternoon, and evening, but then do other things. And then finally, be creative with your connection. Y'all can do some creative things. You can play some games. A lot of our seniors like to play games. You can do some knitting. Ask them what thing they actually like to do and engage them in how it's going. So those are the 4 things to stay connected. So if you're remembering the 2 things that we talked about for seniors, it's staying safe, keeping them safe, and staying connected. There are multiple ways for us to do that, and we are all in this together. We really are, more than ever before. So y'all tell me, do you all have any seniors out there that you're worried about? Are you trying to figure out how to get them on board with these 30 more days of quarantine? Are you concerned that their doctor's appointments have been postponed because they're not essential, if you will? By the way, they're doing telehealth more than ever before. So I was able to actually get a doctor's appointment for my father with his doctor through telehealth, set up the appointment. They send him a link. He clicks the link on his smartphone, and his doctor is right there on the phone, right? Hey, IG people, IG family, hey, Facebook people. So has that worked for your family? Tell me if that's worked for your family members. I'm interested in what's working. I saw Colette on today. What's working for your family? Cindy's on. Mark's on. Hey, Mark. Larissa's on. Rich had to leave. Deborah was on from Florida. Hey, Deborah. Erica, Rich, Nikia was on. These are the people. Will, China, and Donna Matthews from Facebook. I don't know. I can't see the names from IG. Morgan can tell me if there are some people on from IG, but I think this is very important. This is the reason why I really wanted to start off talking about seniors. Again, this virus is impacting us all. Never before have we experienced a pandemic. I know I haven't. I don't know if you all have experienced a pandemic, but it's quite interesting, right? Because uh, we can't panic. We have to stay resolved about this paradigm shift that's happening. We have to begin to adapt to our new norm. And we know that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to be in this for the long haul. The gold standard, top foremost goal right now is to stay safe. If we stay home, we stay well, we stay safe, we stay alive, right? If we have other conditions, we do the best that we can to address those other conditions. But if we stay safe and we do the things that they're saying, many of them are saying that we need to do to keep ourselves safe and to keep our loved ones safe, that's half the battle. Everything else can work itself out. I promise you. There are other things, as long as you're here and you're breathing and your family is here and they're breathing, that we can work this out. Anything and everything, even the challenges with the economy, the fact that many of us may have lost their jobs or not be working right now, all those things can be worked out. So I think that's really, really important. And if we are stronger mentally, right? If we are stronger physically, if we are stronger spiritually, we put our oxygen mask on first, then we actually can help our seniors to be here longer with us. I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, guys. So if you, as you all know, I pivot on the weekday. It's 11 o'clock. I've got an hour to get ready for my sessions. I am seeing clients online. Many of our mental health professionals are seeing clients online. So if you all are interested, if you know someone that's extremely anxious or upset or having challenges regarding this time where we're in quarantine, You all can reach out to me through either calling to the phone line 215-789-6999. You can also email at Dr. Argie at connectionsmatterllc.com. That's at DRARGIE at connectionsmatterllc.com. You can also send me your questions about what you want us to talk about on these platforms. That's at Ask Dr. Argie, Ask Dr. Argie, ASKDRRGIE. That's on IG and on Facebook. And then check out our YouTube page. All the things that I'm doing. The segment I did yesterday on Inside Story on ABC with Matt O'Donnell. The segment I did on Fox on Friday with Mike Jarrett and Alex. Those segments will be on YouTube as well as many of the other segments. Check them out. They may be helpful. I'm always giving tips and insight that I think will be able to be helpful in your relationships.
Tracy on IG, I think she may come up, but she asked you real quick to give any suggestions for, she said she's a caregiver for her 90 and 84-year-old parents. Any suggestions?
Yes.
Well, I know you went over it before, but maybe it's real quick.
Real quick, the suggestions for like Tracy. So when you as a caregiver for your 90-year-old parents or your 84-year-old parents, I think that it's important for you to think about taking care of yourself first. Put your oxygen mask on first. Caregivers they have a really, really difficult job. As I said before, I think you need to try to inform them. If they are not able to listen to you, print out some information, some real factual information, set some new norms. But also for you, Tracy, make sure, you said Tracy or Michelle? Yeah, for you, make sure that you set a schedule for yourself and for them as you can, if you can. That schedule encompasses when when you guys are going to eat, but when you're going to get your work done, when you're going to take care of yourself by working out. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you keep your immune system up. And then as you're engaging with them, identify other people that can help you. Even if you have someone else that can actually get online with you and you can have them spend an hour with your parents, engaging them, that would be, I think, helpful to them and give you a little bit of a break as well. Spend some quality time together. The thing that we have now is some time. And one of the things I think that many of us made sometimes excuses about was that we just didn't have time to spend quality time with each other. So once you get all the logistics down, then just kind of hang out with them if you can, watching a movie or watching a show or playing a game or actually taking some history about their life. Older people sometimes love to tell you about what they've been through. So do some journaling and document what they've gone through in their lifetime. Quite frankly, their testimony or their test can be a testimony to help to build you up. And sometimes we just don't spend enough time actually talking about those kinds of things and helping our seniors to bridge the gap so that they can give us their wisdom. So do that. Make sure that you keep safe as possible and try to stay as healthy as you possibly can. All right. I hope that's helpful for you guys as well. I think we got 2 minutes till 11 o'clock. So we said that we wouldn't keep you here longer than an hour. So I hope this has been helpful. Think about your seniors. Think about yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay home and stay alive. That is the goal. I'm going to meet you back here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We're going to do the same thing, quarantine talks, and we're going to talk about another demographic that I think is going to be really, really important. So meet me here on IG at Ask Dr. Argie, on Facebook as well, at Ask Dr. Argie, and we'll have the Courageous Conversations Connect space, quarantine talks. Have a beautiful day on purpose, from my heart to yours. From my heart to yours. 3 different screens. All right, guys. See ya. I love you. Nothing you can do about it.